Good morning. I am 37 weeks pregnant now, and we are going to do a garden update because we've planted quite a lot and there's actually a lot of things that have started to sprout and bloom and flower. So I'm super excited to show you guys kind of like what's been happening. So before I show you, I just wanted to kind of explain. So we have 4 gardens that have different things in them that are supposed to be like companion plants. Yeah, so I guess I'll just take you around the garden. Our yard is also a mess right now because we have to fix our fence from one of the windstorms. So everything is kind of everywhere while we work on that. But if you just excuse all the kid toys, then you'll find the garden. This is our main garden. If you've watched my videos before, you've obviously seen it, but last year it was much smaller. We only had like this small section in the corner. And then this spring we added in all of this space. So in this section of the garden, we have our raspberry plants. These ones are the ones that we added in. They're not doing the best, but hopefully they'll start to give us a few. This guy has like some new leaves here, so that looks hopeful. But they definitely didn't like being transplanted as much as we had hoped. In front of the raspberries, we have our strawberry plants, which are flowering and starting to produce, which is awesome. And then we have these 3 little ones that we propagated and put in here. So I'm not sure if we're going to get anything out of these ones, but if so, that would be awesome. And then just to the side, we have our tomato plant, our dill plant, and then the garlic that we're going to pull up in about a month or so. That's what's planted on this side of the garden. And then this side is my favorite because it has the peas, but I'll just show you a little bit more of what's in this side as well. So along the walkway, we have our peppermint, our sage, and then our basil. Just 3 little plants here, but it'll be nice to just have an additional set of herbs in this garden. And beside the herbs, we have our 2 blueberry plants. This one has a ton growing right now, so that's super awesome. And then just behind, we have some watermelon that we started in a container, just so it doesn't affect the peas or the cucumbers. Following beside the blueberries is our 2 row of cucumbers. We actually started another row over here, but they didn't come up and I think it was just too cold. So we're going to try again and then hopefully we'll have 4 rows. And then last but not least are the peas. We actually built this trellis ourselves this year because before we just had like one of the small standard ones and I wanted like 6 feet of peas. So what we actually did is we built these 2 stakes right there and there with just like chicken wire and then planted peas on both sides. So then they would go up the trellis from both sides and kind of like help each other attach to it. So I'm super excited about this and I'll just show you like a little bit closer with the peas because they're all flowering right now. These are the peas. And they're definitely attaching to each other, but I read that it's actually okay if they're vining up as long as they continue on to the chicken wire. And then just up here, I've never seen it before, but this one actually has a purple flower, if it will focus. Which is pretty cool because we don't have any like sweet peas, so I'm not sure where that came from. It is super hot, so I'm back under the gazebo, but I'm just going to show you the flower garden because there's lots of stuff coming up now, and I think I planted like 8 different varieties, so it should be really, really pretty. I did want to mention that there used to actually be a tree there, and then we cut it down and we just had the roots left, so we decided to put like a ring around where the root was. That way we could grow flowers and kind of hide it. As the summer goes on, it looks really, really nice. So yeah, that's what we've done with that. So if you look, you can see all the different flowers starting, and then I'll update you more as they come, but I am super excited. I can see tons of different varieties in here. Now I'm just going to show you what's in this little garden here. It's mostly peppers, carrots, and tomato, but I'll just show you the plants anyway. This is our tomato, the jalapeno peppers, and then our carrots. Our carrots are doing super good, so that's exciting. Then we have some more peppers, And then this is our oregano bush over here. So at the end of the season, we'll just dry a bunch of it before it starts flowering. The last garden we have is just our broccoli. So if you can see it right here, they are starting to come up and flower. So these guys are actually blooming a bit sooner than last year, and it is a different variety. So I'm just waiting to see kind of when they start to get the broccoli head. So I also meant to mention, behind the flower garden, we actually have a row of sunflowers coming up behind or along the fence as well. So that will give us just like a nice variety. These are supposed to garden in levels. So you want something like low to the ground, middle, and then high behind them, just to give like variety. So that's kind of what we're trying to do with the flower garden. And then as well as this garden behind me. Especially with like the trellises, because we haven't done cucumbers on a trellis before, but when these ones start to get a little bit bigger, we're going to build the same thing that the peas have, and then they'll be able to vine up and we can pick them off that way, because I use them for pickling a lot, so you don't need to get like the big huge pickles. But yeah, so we're just trying to grow as much as we can in like the most useful way that we can. So I'll keep you updated on how that goes. It should be awesome because I've seen it done before, but yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing. And then as for companion planting, the one garden that just has like very minimal, the peppers, carrots, and tomato, those are supposed to be planted together. That way you can have the carrots in a row, and then the peppers will shield them when the sun gets too hot. So we're actually going to put in a few more carrot rows in between the peppers now that we've had them transplanted long enough. But that's kind of the idea there. And then in the back garden here, you're not supposed to plant melons with cucumber or peas because they'll just take too much nutrients away from each other, and then it could make your cucumbers watery if you have watermelon, which you don't want. So yeah, that's why the watermelons are in a pot. Even if the vines like hang down and they kind of go all over the place, it's fine because they're not getting the same soil that the cucumbers are. So that's just another thing to be mindful of if you have these things in your garden. And one other thing we focused on this year was adding in marigolds to help with pests. Marigolds are pretty much good for most plants, so just do like a quick Google search and it'll tell you whether they're compatible or not, but pretty much everything you can plant them with, and then you do just have like a nice row of flowers as well. So yeah, the pests get taken away, the soil gets better nutrients, and then you have pretty flowers. Hopefully this video was helpful in some way. If you are companion planting or have tried it, I would love to hear what you have together, because we're definitely new at this. This is our second year gardening, so we still have tons to learn. And one last thing, if it seems like I'm out of breath, it's because I am. So my baby is due in 2 weeks, so everything is completely different. This is definitely a different season of gardening than last year, but it's going pretty good so far. I am going to be posting like motherhood content and like just tips and tricks if you have a toddler and a newborn, or even just like going through pregnancy. So if you'd like to hear anything about that and gardening, then yeah, make sure to follow along.